So rapper Young Jock was recently arrested. He was pulled over and they ended up charging him with child abandonment. But not that he left his kids somewhere and they got into something. No. That's not the case. It was actually related to child support. So I'm going to let Jock, tell you in this clip exactly how he got pulled over, how he ended up getting put in jail. And I want to talk to y'all about this child support because y'all fellas got to move a certain way with this child support. But let's go ahead and roll that.
So yeah, man, I was actually sponsoring an event for the mayor of South Fulton. And I was going home to get dressed, and a lot of police department pulled behind me. And they ain't say nothing. He just walked up to the car. Now, interesting enough, I'm sitting here like, well, what you put me over for? He never said nothing. He just grabbed me and said, I rolled down the passenger window. The female officer said, yep, that's him. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm like, what? Then he came to the driver, though, and he was like, so I'm actually to get out of the car. I'm like, all right, I got a car. He just put handcuffs on me. Right. Then he was like, you might have a warrant. That was it. That's all he said. Then he put me in the back of the police car. They drove me out, took me to Wright Street. I mean, the pre-trial. No.
But you can't tell people what they're being arrested for?
You are supposed to.
Did they read you your rights?
No, never did. I never heard the rights.
You didn't hear the Miranda?
Never. Never did. So anyway, I'm going to just tell y'all what happened. So people are saying this child abandonment, and, people are trying to say that, that means you didn't pay child support. Well, that's definitely what child abandonment means when you hear it like that. But in my case, that wasn't the case. So let's just say, without saying who the kid's mom is, because we're going to keep that chill for a minute. So I've been paying so much money up ahead, right? Right. To stay ahead. Not just to stay ahead because I didn't want no smoke, right? So I paid a lot of money up. Once I realized, I felt like, you know what? I don't have to pay you this much money. It wasn't that I realized, it was just, it came to the point, like, yo, I'm about to get married. I gotta take my time and put finances toward, my wedding. But I had spent so much money on child support for this particular child, right? Now, that person got mad. The mother got mad and felt like, no, you're supposed to keep paying me this. I said, no, let's go to the lawyers. Let's get the attorneys involved, and we'll get a real, because we never established what I would pay per month. Okay. And let's just say I was paying her a salary. Let's just say that. I'm gonna be honest. This on my mama. Okay. It's on all my kids' lives. I was paying her an upwards to $4,000 a month. Oh wow. Actually $5,000 a month. I ain't really want to say that because I ain't want the other kid and mama to be going in on them after they hear this, but that's the truth. And that's what it was. So when we did that, while we were in the process of establishing all of my information, my documents, I need to see your contracts. I need, when you're a celebrity, they going through everything when it comes to the attorneys. So when Christmas rolled around, I was like, look, we don't have an agreement. We don't have an agreement of what to pay. That's what we're trying to establish. So in the process of doing that, I said, well, hey, I give you $1,500 for Christmas. And the attorney said, no, that's not enough. So while my attorney and her attorney's going back and forth to establish this, they put this out on me. I didn't even know. I didn't even know I had a warrant, you know what I'm saying, for this. So here I am. I'm just living my life casually, still paying child support, you know what I'm saying? And suddenly they put out this child abandonment warrant because they did not want to accept the $1,500. So when I go to court, this is going to have to be reversed. It's going to be taken off my record because there was no point in time where there was any abandonment. There was no point in time where there wasn't child support. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's it in the gist of it. So for y'all, with y'all, he ain't paying, he ain't taking care of his kids. That's a route kill.
Yeah, you had so many people in defense of you. They don't even sound like
people
Jock.
My character, man.
Yeah, your character definitely supersedes all charges that the law can put on you.
But it is embarrassing because you have to figure out, and I think that's a lot of time when people get caught up and it hits the media, it hits the news. You want to say everything right, but you have to just fall back and let it chill out, let it die a little bit, talk to your attorneys, and then come forward because, here it is. I'm doing events. I just did a event after I got out with the sheriff's department. Right. How about that? Imagine this. I'm about to go do an event to speak to kids with 21 Savage. We're talking about at Clark Atlanta University, Young Jock, 21 Savage, the General Solicitor of Atlanta, Keith Gamage, other people, the sheriff, you know, Pat LeBon, all these different people. Matter of fact, a judge, Kenya. It was a lot. So imagine me standing here like, wow, here I just got out of jail for something I didn't even do. But what if I had not got locked up that night before? I'd have been with all these police with a warrant and not even known it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing how something can just easily just bring your name into a whole world of negativity. And I ain't know none of that. So
now are you in the clear as it pertains to that?
Yeah, we're in the clear. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We've already established the whole child support thing and all that. So it's cool. It's just one of them things. It's like right now, you know, some of my kids, we don't even to this day don't have a amount that the court, because the court ain't involved. Some of them, you know, one of my sets of twins, she felt like we got to get the court involved. I'm like, why? Let's just do our number and we stick to it. No, she wanted to get the courts involved. And the other twin mama, she felt like, you know what, it's cool. This the number we on, and that's what we did, and that's it.
Now, as you heard, Jock said that he had like an agreement, you know, with this woman, and he was going to just, you know, pay, and that's that. See, this is a danger about that. If you don't go through the court system, or even at least go through the Attorney General's office, because this is what you can do. You can sit down with her and say, look, I want to pay a certain amount of money, you know, or whatever. And let's say both of y'all come into agreement with it, right? You both can go to the Attorney General's office and say, listen, he gonna pay child support, this amount a month that we agreed to. She can sign it, and you can sign it in the child support office, and they'll take that. You know, they'll get the court order, give you your visitation, do everything right there in the office. You ain't gotta even go to court and fight like that. Men going to court or even getting that done through the Attorney General protects you, because when something like this happens where you say, well, shoot, you know, I'm giving $5,000. I want to cut this down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to get married at the time, right? This woman want her $5,000 a month. Now, he may not even be paying $5,000 a month if you go, because the state can only charge you what the state charge you. Every state got laws on what they will charge you for child support, right? But you want to get your visitation and everything legally documented. It is a protection mechanism for you. And because he didn't have a court order already that protects him, he said he was paying more over and above. Okay. If you were paying over and above, young Jock, it don't even matter when you don't have a court order. When you have a court order, that will get documented and say, okay, he's paying more. This is an overage. And they will even send you a letter to tell you that, hey, you got this much more money extra you've paid in child support, right? They'll tell you that. I've gotten those letters. Matter of fact, I just got one of those letters the other day, actually. Why it's good to get one of those letters from child support, fellas? It's because, like me, I'm on the tail end of that. So I'm going to be done paying child support a lot faster. Now, my son, he turns 18 this year, you know, and even though he turns 18 during the year, you know, you still have to pay until they graduate high school. But if you are paid ahead, you'll finish a lot faster, right? So that's going to be like my situation. But you always go through them folks. Always go through them folks. Always get you a lawyer. Don't ever go in there representing yourself. That is a dumb move to represent yourself. Jock should have made sure that he took care of that through the court. Now he wants to do it that way, but you know, you can't make any kind of moves because some of these lawyers are suckers. And they'll come up here and try to go file something on you. And that's what happened with Jock's situation, right? Get the man put in county and all that behind some dumb child support. It doesn't even make sense. You know, jail is supposed to be for actual criminals, not no child support. You know what I'm saying? But also, I will say this, fellas. I will say this. I hear all the children that Jock have. Jock didn't marry all those women. He's married. He got a wife now. If Jock would have took what I say and what Uncle Phil say is, if she not worth your last name, she not worth having a kid with, he wouldn't be in this problem. A lot of you brothers out there, You sit up there and lay down with these women with no protection at all. And I don't see how you lay up and just get any old woman pregnant like that. I don't get it. Because your uncle didn't have not a kid unless I was married. I said that I would never have a child unless I'm married to the woman, period. Because I understood that I had to be responsible with my seed. So at least whoever I had my child with, at least I knew I was married to him. So I had some sort of stake in that game. Men can make that conscious decision like I made. I'm not no different than anybody else. Now, sure, marriages don't work out. I had, when I was married to my son's mom, it didn't work out. That happens, right? And, we had our issues at one point in time, but that's not this anymore. That's long gone now, right? My son about to be 18. There you go. So, I remarried, with my wife. I've been with her 10 years, and definitely could be with her another 30, 40. Lord bless me to live that long, I want to live to be 100. Lord say the same, right? And just take care of your situation, fellas. Do not have children until you get married. I will say that 2,000%. Women, you should be that way times 1,000. Because you have a lot more to lose than us fellas. At least we lose a paycheck, but you lose your time. You lose a whole lot of things. Because see, as men, we can just pay our child support and go live our life. You know what I'm saying? So we got a decent job. We pay our child support. The court ain't gonna say crap to us. But you stuck with that kid 24/7. We get our visitation if that's what we choose to do. And listen, the courts, they don't even care if you visit your kid, as long as you pay for it. So that lets you know that too. Not to say I recommend that, but just be married before you have children, and you won't have all these problems. But y'all let me know what y'all think about our brother Young Jock here, man. I mean, he having some issues, but always, fellas, when you get a kid, go through the courts. Go through the courts. Go through the courts. It's a protection to you. Trust me.